was on the photo table, but welcome.
Alright, so today we are going to take you guys through kind of a day in the life. We're going to do like the whole process of like everything from when gear comes in the door to how we fix it up, get it listed, get it pictured, and then get it back out the door and send out to you guys. I started this company like 6 or 7 years ago now at this point, and I had Enter Shikari's A Flash Flood of Color record playing. Thought, why not make it a flash flood of gear in reference to that album. And I just wanted to sell like a handful of items. And then 2020, 2021 we really got serious. Started having friends come in to help out. Kaylee started taking on a lot of the guitar tech work. And then not too long after that, Damien started doing a lot of the shipping. Because at the time they were already starting to help with guitar shows and stuff, as well as Eric, and then was hiring Thomas here and there to film like one demo video, not these kind of videos. And so maybe in like 2020, 2021 started becoming a real thing. And then now it's a proper business with 6 people working here, which is crazy. Someone messaged us on Instagram earlier in the week saying, hey, I have a guitar I want to sell. We worked out a deal on it. Sent it our way, and it came in yesterday. Obviously it was in a box, but Damien's already unboxed it, so I'm going to actually unpack it now. Whatever could it be? Look at that. Nice vintage Martin 12 string. They did detune it. Probably not as much as I would have detuned it, but strings actually aren't in the worst shape, but we're still going to go through and restring it, fix it up, clean it up, see what's original, see if everything's been worked on here. Looks like there may have been a repair here that wasn't disclosed, so we will have to have a chat about that. They had mentioned there was this top crack, and they showed a picture of that, but they didn't tell us there was anything other than that. We'll have to get in touch, but yeah, pretty cool Martin otherwise. Excited to get this thing cleaned up and take more of a look at what's going on here.
So when something comes in, we pull up our SKU and inventory sheets. We usually write down some important info, maybe like the finish or color. Definitely write name and model down, and then we'll write whether or not it has like a hard case or a soft case or comes with any accessories. And then we note the serial numbers, and then we assign it a SKU. In our system, I put it back on hold. And then Colin will come and grab it if he needs to work on the pro audio side of it, or Kay will come and work on the guitar tech side of it. I've been playing music since I was 5 years old. My mother was a songwriter, my dad was a drummer, so I really didn't have a choice. I picked up drums, I sing for some bands, I played bass for a little bit. Yeah, I mean, just music has always been a part of my life. If we go way back, I met Thomas first, so 15 years now. Just met him through the local music scene. Through that and through mutual friends and everything like that, I met Alex and we hit it off. And actually the first conversation I ever had with Alex was I asked him to play guitar in my band, Delaspine, and he was like, no. He straight up was just like, no. I was a store manager, and then COVID happened and I lost that job. The store shut down. I got a job at a roofing company and I was absolutely miserable. Talked to Alex and I said, hey man, I want to start doing monitors or front of house or tech work for touring artists, because I had a few connections there. Do you need help while I'm in town? I was hired essentially to just be the driver. We did a couple shows and we got back and I said, Alex, I want to tour less. Alex and I just sat down and had a conversation where I was like, I have tons of retail experience, specifically managerial experience. Let me run the shop. It was a very quick yes. It was like, okay, we're going to Japan, have fun. I needed to take some of the workload off and go ahead.
It doesn't matter.
Well, I don't want to...
Sorry, we're still a working office. As much as you see all this content and stuff like that is fun, we still are working.
Right over here.
We have a million different things that are labeled a million different ways. And my biggest pet peeve is I always find them stuck to my shirts or pants somewhere or shoes or whatever. Like I have gone my whole day and then gone home and my wife has pulled a tag off the back of my shirt that I didn't know was there. And it's like a SKU sticker or something like that. And then you have to go put it back or make a new one. And yeah, it's awful. Tools going missing in general, just like things that you were looking for and using, you swore they were right there, and then you know, the next day you come back and they're not there. Not naming names. I'm not saying who does that.
Pay no attention to me.
There you have it.
Kaylee's setting up a guitar. Got to take the screws out, see what the electronics are, take pictures of that, make sure they're the originals, or if they're not the originals, note what it is. If there's any solder points that have been touched up, we try to include that as well. On a lot of the Japanese guitars, which we get a lot of, we'll usually take the necks off and get the pictures of the stamps, as that's usually pretty relevant. Also happens with a lot of American guitars, but the Japanese stuff in particular, you're going to see a lot of important information in the neck pocket and on the neck heel. So that's what we're working on now. Once we've collected all that information, we'll get it cleaned up, get the frets cleaned up, and then get it set up really nicely, throw some fresh strings on it, and then it's going to go to its next area. Well, actually, then we have to make a listing for it, and then it'll go to the next area.
So after I pull off an item off the shelf, when it's been skewed, I can run it through our sheets system, where we keep tabs on everything that comes in, incoming and outcoming. From there, I clean it, I work on it, function test it, make sure it works, and then I make a listing and pretty much just write some cool stuff about it, what kind of shape it's in, what comes included with the unit, power supplies and all that, cables, make a listing, verify what it is on Reverb, do some more research on it and make sure that I have my facts straight on it, and then I can make an accurate listing. And then from there, we just draft the listing. Alex will check it over to make sure it's good, and then you guys eventually will see it on either the website, Reverb, or other outlets that we sell on. After I draft the listing, I take it, so we can do this one. Here's a Boss line selector pedal. It's got a SKU number, it's got the model number and everything, so I'll take it, go to our photo selection room, where Eric is. And we say, hey, Eric.
Hey.
And I take this here unit and I put it on the shelf for processing. So Eric can take some pictures and then finish out the listing. This thing has been sitting here for like 2 weeks now. I'm about to eat it.
Who is it?
Told you I was about to eat it.
You should have opened it closer to the camera. Could have given the people some ASMR.
Hope there wasn't any mold on that.
I think it was made with hot glue. There's just a thing of orange juice outside of the fridge.
Take a guess, how many full things of orange juice do you think Alex has?
They were buy two, get one free. Are you really not going to take them up? I drink so much orange juice.
I just love how you had to put all 3 of them in there.
Well, I joined Flash Flood
Wait till
to really just listen to the fridge rummaging. I've been talking to Alex for a little while because naturally I'm a drummer and I know quite a bit about drumming gear and drumming equipment. And sometimes some of that gear comes through the shop. Alex would ask Damien about it, or sometimes he'd ask me about some information about what he had. And then it slowly just became Damien being like, hey, you need to talk to Colin about getting involved with some drum stuff. And then it was like, well, I know a little bit about pro audio too. So then it just came to a point Alex was like, hey, your other job, I know you're working there. What do you think about coming here a couple days a week? And I just said, yeah, sounds like a good time. I got, a couple days free that I could come in and start doing that. So that's kind of where it started. I always thought it was kind of funny that, like, we're all friends before this, just in each other's bands and just hanging out, outside of work. And then it kind of just conjoined into now we all work together based around something we all love to do, which is music. Yeah, it's just a cool place to work. Cool laid back shop. Everyone's really cool with each other. Can't really complain too much. Sometimes tools go missing. And sometimes no one seems to know where they went, which just kind of gets a little frustrating when we lose our tools.
I love that that's going to be a reoccurring bit. It's getting lost and no one knows who it is. Wonder who it is.
Kayla will bring guitars and basses. Colin will bring mics, pedals, pro audio, etc., synthesizers, keyboards, whatever. Back here, they get put on my shelf. And then I start to take photos. So with guitars and basses, we, as you might have seen, we get photos of the case, the guitar with the case by itself, and then basically any angle that you could really want to see of a guitar. And then if I'm doing my job right, I should also have the Shopify listing that's going to go up, pulled up next to me, and somebody should normally have already written a description of what's going on. So, like for instance, this one says that there's most notably clusters of chips on the bottom and a bigger gash on the back. So I just need to, when I'm doing photos, need to make sure that I look out for. So after I take the photos, all right. So yeah, I just finished taking photos of this. It gets put back in its case, or if it's a pedal or microphone or whatever, and it doesn't already have a location assigned to it, it'll go out onto the rack that Colin is set up in front of. Showing I also don't know how to use cases.
Oh, he knows how to pack them, not how to open them.
Right. I can play Tetris for a van. Load up 60 guitars in the back of a Sprinter. Alright, and then we go back out this way. Corner. Don't want to decapitate anyone. And then we'll go right up here and wait for its lovely little home, either here or at for Adam. So, once I'm all done doing my batch of photos for the day, my however many I got, we'll take the SD card out, and normally we'll go out to that front computer. I import all the photos, load them all up into Lightroom, and just bust them all out. Obviously editing the groups of individual photos for the respective item. The last task is just uploading them to the Shopify listings, like this one that I have earlier. So like for this Gibson Les Paul, when I'm done, I'll pull this listing up again. Like as you can see here, sometimes there'll already be photos of the inner workings of the guitar that Kaylee or Alex might have taken photos of, but I'll just add my photos to that. I'll make sure that it has the skew in the right spot. It says we have one available, and some other things, and then I just save it, and then either Alex reviews it or it just goes live. I am Cousin. I heard through the family grapevine that there was a job. I said, hey, I know how to be Cousin. They said, you're hired. And
Nepotism at its finest.
I've worked for a Flash Photo Gear for a little over a year. I was technically, I think, a contracted worker before, and now I'm an actual like employee. I've been an employee like in office for about 2 months, but I was gone for about 5 of those weeks. So let's say 2 weeks.
Now
Right.
you've moved on from just
Right, just driver.
Yeah.
So for those of you that don't know, when you get hired on under the job category of Cousin, it normally just entails photos and editing. I'm also doing some minor media learning under Thomas. I've learned how to use the gimbal with some footage that you'll probably never see because it was a very good day that we spent
By no fault
time
of
on.
yours or mine.
Right. If I don't have anything to do and like Damien's doing shipping, I'll help with shipping. Who knows? Maybe in the new space, because it's going to be so tall, I'll get forklift certified, and then I'll be the forklift operator too.
Thanks, Eric.
No problem, Thomas.
I have no idea. So at the end of his day, he sends me a SKU list of all like 20 items he's photoed and edited that day. And then I go through each listing, I read through the listing and make sure everything looks good. If I make any edits if I feel necessary, and then I publish them, and then they get sent out to flashphotogear.com, Reverb, you see them on Facebook, Gbase, all the other platforms that we sell on. So that's the last step, and then you guys see the items and you buy them. Once they get purchased, then it's time. Then it'll go into our ShipStation queue, which will have a location code. And Damien will see, okay, here's all my orders for today. He'll go look for the location code, go get the item, pack it up. Then UPS or whoever's shipping it will pick it up from us. And we do a pickup every single day. Ours at 3 p.m. Get your order in before 2 p.m. so we have time to pack it right. And then it will be out.
Is there anything going out today?
2 p.m. Eastern. We have an order. Got an order in for...
There's one already ready to go right here.
Yes. So we got an order for the Boss BR1600 CD. It's the digital recorder. It's basically a little studio in a box. But this one's cool because it is still in the original box. It has a lot of the case candy and stuff like that. So I will
grab that.
In our secondary location, if something is stored over there, we'll go pick it up and then pack your order. We still bring it back here, check it out, give it a once over before it goes out, and then we pack the order and send it out. Who's driving?
I'll drive.
Let's go. Send us those deets. We'll get them.
I'll send you one.
Woo, that's right.
If I'm rolling, I gotta be rolling in style. So.
Oh, look, you can see
That's
me now.
nice.
Little known fact, Radom is actually my warehouse. My business.
Little known fact. Inconvenient spot.
Is it sideways?
No.
Oh,
That's right side up.
that is
but,
something.
But it's like you have to like do the whole S. There's just a lot going on with it, man. Hello. So we're here at the other storage location spot. This is where we store everything that overflows or is too big to store at the original spot, such as like big pianos, amplifiers, more guitars. So when we locate the item that we're looking for, in this case it seems to be a Boss BR1600 digital recorder. We pull it down, we check the SKU, check the label, and we go, oh, okay, this is what we needed. And we take it back to the original location to box it up and get it processed and sent out to you.
So we'll pack it up, get our boxes, pack it up. We'll ship it out to you guys. If we get an order in before 2 o'clock, I'll make sure it's taken care of that same day. And if you want a more detailed video on how to properly pack something, we have a couple videos on the channel about packing guitars and stuff like that.
I think there's only one. Right
Oh, there's only one right now?
There should be more. But
There should
right
be
now
more.
there's
There
just
will be
one.
more in the future. But right now there's one how we pack a guitar that you can check in the link somewhere. I'm going to make this side. Okay, Thomas is going to put it right here. There's a link to another video that you should check out.
Like a glove.
Got to write the handwritten note.
What do you guys call it? There's a certain name?
Suches and muches. I don't really know why it started. I just heard Kay say it a lot. And suches and muches.
Well, that's from Alex, because when he was writing them, he was writing out loud one time, as he does, and he was just kind of saying when he was writing, and he goes, "This is such a cool. Thank you so much." So it's like suches and muches, because he would repeat those words.
Gotcha.
Right.
That makes a lot of
Thank you very much. This is such. Yeah.
A couple business cards and stickers in there. And then we're going to pack it on up.
You should film. I don't know where you splice this in, but I have an update
An update?
on the Martin.
This is definitely the most I've seen you here in the office.
Yeah,
Like-
normally remote.
During business hours, I should say.
Mostly due to the fact that I have a business to run as well.
Yeah.
But today,
Not a sponsor.
Where can I find it?
oh, we already showed
Is
it.
there an
Actually,
affiliate?
but thank you, Eric.
Yeah, do you have an affiliate link?
Today's sponsor is.
Radom's been sponsoring this channel since day 0, so go buy some drum sheet.
NordVPN.
NordVPN. I weigh it. We've got a scale here. Enter it in and print out a label for it. UPS, USPS, occasionally DHL, sometimes FedEx will come and pick it up. Then it gets sent to the customer. So part of my duties here, a lot of it involves customer service. So there is a 33% chance that you're talking to me, or you're talking to Alex, or you're talking to Thomas behind the camera. Part of my duties is to, do the customer service, check up on emails, check up on reverb stuff, make sure everybody's happy, all you potential customers have your questions answered and stuff. We actually just got an email in, fan of the channel, that I really enjoy your YouTube videos, good stuff. What is the fretboard oil that you use on the Rosewood fretboards? We use the Music Nomad F1 oil. Not a sponsor. We're gonna let him know that that's what we use, and we really appreciate Jeff emailing us. If you guys have any questions in the future, let us know.
Okay, so quick update. I know earlier in the video you saw we got a Martin in. Ended up that there was some sort of headstock repair going on that wasn't disclosed. So I reached out to the seller, and fortunately, he was cool about it. And he said he didn't really play guitar, so he wasn't aware. I just wish he would have disclosed that. But he was. I told him either we're gonna send it back, and just we'll need to get a refund for that, or you can just refund us some of the money and we will sell this guitar in the condition it's actually in, which is having a headstock repair. Which could still be a great guitar, it's just not going to go for as much, and we want to represent it fairly, so we also need to pay it. We need to pay the correct price for it. So fortunately he understood that, and we adjusted the price, and then now we're going to clean this up. I'll probably actually bring it over to Tom Jacobs, have him take a look at it as well. I'll figure out what the best case scenario for if we should do any additional repair, leave it the way it is, and we'll just kind of go from there, and then the listing obviously will tell you in depth the exact condition that it's in.
That's yeah, you can Journey now.
What'd you say?
You can play some Journey now. You ready for your interview, Kaylee?
You got a lot of stuff from me today.
That's the most talking we ever got in the video.
Right. Take what you can get.
Okay. I'm gonna do some research.
Tell us, what's it? First of all, what's it like being on the other side?
On the other side, uncomfortable.
Just one word: uncomfortable.
Music was forced upon me at a young age, semi-forced. When you're 8, you don't really know what you want to do. And my parents said, "You should learn guitar." I met Alex a long time ago now, maybe like 2015. He was not doing this then, and he was just a fan of Secret Keeper, and we were just hanging out, having a good time. And then he eventually joined Secret Keeper, and then around that same time he got more serious with this. And I've had a background in like photography, graphic design, and marketing as well, just like Alex does marketing and stuff like that. He wanted to do a couple of videos. I had some experience with video work, so we knocked out a few demos on some guitars. I think that was like a good test for what we wanted to do. And then at some point, I don't remember if I was just like, oh, we should do this more seriously, or if it was a combination, like Alex was thinking of doing YouTube more, and I was like, well, let's just do it. I'm not in the office hardly ever. This is the most I've ever been. That's not true. Maybe the most during business hours.
Yes,
usually I come
definitely for business.
with Alex after, so we're doing the videos after everyone's left, so we're not on top of everyone else while filming, which has been kind of an experience. It's cool to see how you all work with each other and make things happen. Of course. I don't think there's anything else to film today. Probably not.
Now the hardest part of your job starts.
Yeah, the editing part.
All the editing. Hearing how many times we all say and yeah. And what is going on? See, this is. Come on, hold on now. This is an exact example of the things
Because
that are
we're filming in the
ridiculous.
film room,
We're
and
filming
working in the work
a
area.
10, 15-minute little segment. We come out here. What's going on? What's going on, guys?
We're going.
This
through
is
rack-
organization.
Yeah, I'll tell you this. This pile here needs
You
to
gotta make a
order
mess to clean a
adapters.
mess.
This pile is 100-volt non-convertible and needs to be It needs to be tested with our step down, and then listed as this is 100-volt and don't use it 120-volt power.
Pile of boutique music gear and organization. This is my organized pile.
Yeah, it's life around here.
And Eric was just leaving too.
Yeah.
Also life around here.
Almost. I'm gonna do better next week, okay? I'm not gonna make Kaylee's bench a mess, and I'm not gonna leave stuff laying out. You give me today.
I don't
tomorrow
believe you,
process.
You
But-
said that last week too.
Yeah,
No,
I don't
no.
believe you at all, but
I said I won't do this
thank
again.
you for acknowledging.
No, I'm admitting
That's
that
the
it could.
first step.
Tomorrow could be rough, but after that, I'm gonna be better.
What's tomorrow?
Friday.
Why would it be more rough than
So
today?
I'm just still mentally processing what I need to do differently. I hope you guys have enjoyed this. This is a very organic look at what a day here looks like. It's crazy. I couldn't do it without everyone, so we appreciate everyone. I hope you guys have enjoyed watching this great experience. As always, comment down below your thoughts. Like the video, do all the stuff. We appreciate it. And we'll see you in another video soon. Bye.